The boutique went silent the moment he walked in. My daughter stood in the center of the room, petals clutched in her small hands, spinning in a dress that cost more than my monthly rent. She laughed, unaware that the man staring at her like he'd seen a ghost was the groom, the billionaire, the one who didn't know she existed. He crouched slowly, his breath uneven. "What's your name, sweetheart?" "Emma," she said brightly. His eyes, those unmistakable eyes, flicked to me, and I knew. This wedding was about to become a reckoning. But the truth didn't start here. It started 7 years earlier, when love collided with power, and power won. They say every woman remembers the moment her life splits into before and after. Mine happened on a Tuesday morning, 6 weeks before the wedding that was supposed to unite Chicago's most powerful families. I was sorting Emma's school permission slips when my laptop chimed. The email subject line seemed innocent enough. Flower Girl Opportunity. Hawthorne Sterling Wedding. My hands froze over the keyboard. Hawthorne. That name. That impossible, beautiful, devastating name I'd spent 7 years trying to forget. "We would like to offer your daughter the role of Flower Girl in the upcoming nuptials of Caleb Hawthorne and Victoria Sterling. The ceremony will be featured in Architectural Digest and broadcast to over 2 million viewers." The coffee in my hand went cold. My vision tunneled. Emma's laughter drifted from her bedroom, where she was playing with her dolls, oblivious to the bomb that had just detonated in our quiet Evanston apartment. Caleb Hawthorne was getting married. To someone who wasn't me. To someone who probably knew everything about him. His favorite scotch, the scar on his shoulder from a childhood fall, the way he read contracts at 5 a.m. because insomnia ran in his family. Someone who didn't have to raise his daughter alone while he built empires. I should have deleted the email. Should have blocked the sender and pretended that name belonged to a stranger. But I made the mistake of scrolling down to the image attached at the bottom. There he was, still devastatingly handsome, still wearing that expression of controlled power that made boardrooms tremble. His arm was wrapped around a blonde woman in couture, a smile practiced and perfect. They stood in front of Hawthorne Tower, the building that bore his family name, looking every inch the power couple Chicago society had been waiting for. And in that moment, staring at the man who once told me I was his everything before vanishing like smoke, I made a decision that would unravel both our lives. I clicked accept. Because Emma deserved her moment in the spotlight, even if her father didn't know she existed. Because part of me, the part that never stopped loving him, needed to see his face when he realized what he'd lost. Because sometimes, the universe doesn't just give you closure. It gives you a reckoning. The Hawthorne Sterling wedding wasn't just an event. It was a coronation. Every major publication covered the announcement. Chicago Tribune called it the merger of the century. Vanity Fair devoted 8 pages to Victoria Sterling's lineage and Caleb's meteoric rise from trust fund heir to self-made tech mogul. Social media exploded with hashtags. #Hawthorne Wedding trended for 3 days straight. I watched it all from my tiny apartment in Evanston, Emma asleep in the next room, my phone screen glowing with images of the man I once knew intimately. The man who had no idea he was a father. My best friend Simone called the moment she saw the news. "Please tell me you're not seeing this." "I'm seeing it." "Jade, you need to ignore this. You built a life without him. A good life." I stared at Emma's school photo on my desk. Those unmistakable green eyes, that determined chin, the smile that could light up rooms. Every inch of her screamed Hawthorne. And yet I'd spent 7 years convincing myself it didn't matter. They asked Emma to be the flower girl. I said quietly. Silence. Then, "What did you say?" I said yes. Jade! She deserves this, Simone. One moment of fairy tale before reality kicks in. And what happens when he sees her? When he realizes? I closed my eyes. I don't know. But that was a lie. I knew exactly what would happen. I'd known since the moment I saw his photo. Since the universe decided our paths would cross again, whether I wanted them to or not. The wedding was in 6 weeks. 6 weeks to prepare Emma for the biggest day of her young life. 6 weeks before I faced the man who broke me. 6 weeks before everything I'd carefully constructed came crashing down. The invitation arrived 3 days later via courier. Cream cardstock with gold embossing. My name calligraphed in elegant script. Ms. Jade Morrison and guest. I ran my fingers over the lettering, remembering another invitation years ago. A handwritten note slipped under my hotel room door. Dinner, just us. No expectations. See. That night changed everything. Emma bounded into the kitchen, backpack dragging behind her. "Mommy, can I have a snack?" "Apple slices are in the fridge, baby." She grabbed them with sticky fingers, then noticed the invitation on the counter. "What's that?" "A fancy party." "Are we going?" I looked at her. This perfect, brilliant, resilient little human I'd created against all odds. She had his eyes, his stubborn streak, his ability to light up a room without trying. "Yes, sweetheart. We're going." Her face split into a grin. "Can I wear a princess dress?" "The prettiest one you've ever seen," she squealed and ran off, already planning her imaginary outfit, leaving me alone with the weight of my decision. My phone buzzed. Another email from the wedding coordinator. "Dress fitting scheduled for Friday, 2 p.m. Please arrive promptly. Mr. Hawthorne has requested to meet all wedding party members personally." My stomach dropped. Friday. 2 days away. I had 48 hours before Caleb Hawthorne looked at my daughter and saw himself staring back. I met Caleb on a Tuesday night in October, 7 years ago. He walked into the luxury hotel where I worked the evening shift. No entourage, no fanfare, just expensive shoes and eyes that seemed to catalogue everything. I was covering for a sick colleague at the concierge desk when he approached. "I need dinner reservations," he said. "Somewhere quiet. No photographers." "Photographer trouble?" I asked, pulling up restaurant options. "Fame trouble." He smiled, and something in my chest shifted. Sometimes you just want to eat pasta without ending up on social media. I booked him a table at a hidden Italian place in Wicker Park. He thanked me, tipped generously, and I thought that would be the end of it, until he came back the next night, and the next. "You're becoming a regular," I said on his 4th visit. "Maybe I like the service." His eyes held mine. Or the company. We started with coffee, then late-night conversations when my shift ended. He told me about the pressure of running a tech empire at 31, about family expectations and board meetings that felt like war zones. I told him about community college, about dreams deferred to pay rent, about building a life from scratch. "You're not impressed by any of this, are you?" he asked one night, gesturing at himself. "By you, yes. By your bank account, no." That's when he kissed me. We fell fast and hard, stolen moments between his board meetings and my double shifts. He made me believe in fairy tales, in the possibility that someone like him could choose someone like me. Until I missed my period. Until 2 pink lines appeared on a test I took in the hotel bathroom during my break. Until I called him, terrified and hopeful, and got voicemail. For 3 days straight. On the 4th day, lawyers arrived at my apartment instead. They were polite, professional, devastating.
Mr. Hawthorne's family has been made aware of your situation, the lead attorney said, sliding papers across my kitchen table. This is a non-disclosure agreement and a settlement offer. I stared at the numbers. 6 figures. A fortune to someone like me. Blood money. Where's Caleb? I asked. Mr. Hawthorne is currently
Abroad on business. He's entrusted this matter to us. This matter? My voice cracked. I'm carrying his child. Which is why we're offering such generous terms. Sign the NDA, accept the settlement, and there will be no further contact with the Hawthorne family. I need to talk to him. That won't be possible. I called his number. Disconnected. His office blocked my calls. His email bounced back. It was like he'd never existed. Or like I'd never existed to him. I spent 3 days crying. Then I made a choice. I kept the baby, refused the money, signed nothing, and disappeared. I moved to Evanston, changed my number, got a job at a small non-profit, built a life where Emma could grow up normal, loved, safe from the world that had rejected her before she was born. I told myself he didn't want us, that he'd known and chosen power over love. It was easier than the alternative, that he might not have known at all. The boutique was in the Gold Coast, all marble floors and crystal chandeliers. Emma clutched my hand, eyes wide at the luxury surrounding us.
Mummy, it's like a castle.
Remember your manners, baby.
A woman in designer clothes approached, clipboard in hand. Ms. Morrison, I'm Veronica, the wedding coordinator. Emma must be our flower girl.
Emma beamed.
I'm going to throw petals.
You certainly are. Veronica's smile was professional, her eyes assessing.
The dress is ready for fitting. Follow me.
We were led to a private room where a miniature version of what I assumed was the bride's dress hung on a mannequin. White silk, delicate lace, age-appropriate, but still impossibly expensive. Emma gasped.
It's perfect.
Let's try it on, sweetheart. I helped her into the dress, my hands shaking slightly as I fastened the tiny buttons. She looked like a princess, like she belonged in this world of wealth and privilege, like she belonged with him.
Someone wants to meet you,
Veronica said from the doorway. My heart stopped. Who? I managed.
The groom. He likes to personally thank all wedding party members.
No, not yet. Not here. But before I could protest, footsteps echoed in the hall. And then he was there. Caleb Hawthorne. 7 years older, somehow more devastating. His suit probably cost more than my car. His presence filled the room. That same magnetic pull I remembered. That same intensity in his eyes. Those eyes landed on Emma and froze. The silence stretched impossibly long. Emma, oblivious, twirled in her dress, petals from a practice basket scattering across the floor.
Look, Mummy, I'm a princess.
Caleb's face had gone pale. His gaze moved from Emma's green eyes to her dark
curls, to the stubborn set of her jaw, cataloguing every feature with the precision of someone whose world was tilting off its axis. What's your name, sweetheart? His voice was rough, barely controlled.
Emma, I'm 6. Well, almost 7. My birthday is in March.
His eyes snapped to mine, and I watched recognition, real, devastating recognition, dawn. March. 9 months after our last night together. Jade. My name on his lips was a question, an accusation, a prayer. We need to talk. Veronica sensed the tension, efficient as ever.
Emma, why don't we practice your walk? The photographer wants to capture some test shots. Okay. Emma grabbed the coordinator's hand, completely unaware she'd just detonated a bomb. The moment she left, Caleb closed the door, locked it. How old is she? 6. Her birthday? March 15th. I watched him do the math, watched his face cycle through shock, anger, devastation. She's mine. Not a question, a statement of fact. I said nothing. What could I say? The truth was written all over Emma's face. You kept her from me. His voice was deadly quiet. For 6 years. You kept my daughter from me. Your lawyers kept her from you. What lawyers? The ones who showed up at my apartment with NDAs and blood money. The ones who told me you wanted nothing to do with me or the situation. Confusion flickered across his face. I never sent lawyers. Then who did? The question hung between us, heavy with implications. My mother. The words dropped like stones. Caleb sank into a chair, his head in his hands, the polished billionaire veneer cracking to reveal something raw underneath. I was in Tokyo for 3 weeks. Emergency acquisition. When I got back, you were gone. Your number disconnected, your apartment empty. The hotel said you quit. He looked up, eyes haunted. I thought you left me. I tried to call you. For days. Your number was disconnected. My mother changed it. Said I was getting too many sales calls. He laughed bitterly. Jesus, Jade. She knew, and she sent them anyway. The pieces fell into place. Caroline Hawthorne, matriarch of one of Chicago's most powerful families, who'd made no secret of her disapproval when Caleb started dating the hotel girl. Why didn't you come back? I whispered. Why didn't you find me? I tried. I hired investigators. They found nothing. His jaw clenched. My mother told me you'd taken money, that you'd signed an NDA and moved on. I never took a dime. I never signed anything. I know that now. He stood, crossed to me, and I saw the man I'd loved beneath the anger. I have a daughter. We have a daughter. You're getting married in 6 weeks. The reminder hit him like a physical blow. Victoria. God, Victoria. Does she know about us? There's no us. There was never... He stopped. No. She doesn't know. Well, she's about to. I gestured toward the door, where Emma's laughter drifted through. Unless you want to explain to your daughter why she's throwing petals for your wedding to another woman. This isn't fair. Fair? My voice rose. Fair would have been you answering your phone 7 years ago. Fair would have been showing up instead of lawyers. I raised her alone, Caleb. I worked 3 jobs, missed sleep, sacrificed everything while you built your empire and posed for magazine covers. I didn't know. And whose fault is that? The question silenced us both. Emma's voice called from the hall. Mummy, can I show you my pictures? Caleb's expression softened at her voice, something shifting in his eyes. I want to know her. I want to be her father. You can't just walk into her life and play daddy because it's convenient. She's my daughter. I have rights. Rights! I stepped closer, fury burning through fear. You want to talk about rights? Fine. Let's talk about the years you weren't there. The nights she asked why she didn't have a daddy. The father-daughter dances I skipped because I couldn't bear to watch her face. Jade. No. You don't get to show up and dismantle everything because your mother played God. My voice shook. Emma has a life. A stable, happy life. And I will not let you destroy that for your ego. This isn't about ego. It's about my child. Then prove it. Because right now, you're just the billionaire who's about to marry someone else, while your daughter throws flowers at your feet. The door opened. Emma burst in, photograph in hand, Veronica trailing apologetically behind her. "Mummy, look! They made me look like a fairy!" I took the photo, my hands trembling. Emma, captured mid-twirl, petals floating around her like snow. Caleb crouched beside her. "You look beautiful, Emma." She smiled at him, completely trusting. "Are you the prince?" His voice cracked. "Something like that." "Then you should marry my mummy. She's the prettiest." The words hung in the air, innocent and devastating. Caleb looked at me over Emma's head, and I saw everything we'd lost reflected back. "Maybe I should have," he said softly. "The call, Morrison. This is Richard Aldrich, legal counsel for the Hawthorne family." I clutched my phone, Emma's soft breathing audible from her bedroom. "What do you want?" "Mrs. Caroline Hawthorne would like to meet with."
You. Tomorrow, 10 a.m. Her office. And if I refuse? Then we'll be forced to pursue legal channels regarding custody of Emma Hawthorne. My blood ran cold. Her name is Emma Morrison. DNA tests would suggest otherwise. Mrs. Hawthorne has been made aware of the situation and wishes to resolve this matter privately. I strongly suggest you attend. The line went dead. I didn't sleep. By dawn, I'd called Simone, who agreed to take Emma to school. By 9:30, I was standing outside Hawthorne Holdings, a 60-story monument to everything I'd never be. Caroline Hawthorne's office was on the top floor, all glass and power. She sat behind a desk that probably cost more than my annual salary, every inch the matriarch who'd built a dynasty. "Ms. Morrison, thank you for coming." I didn't have a choice. "We all have choices." Her smile was cold. "You chose to hide my granddaughter. I'm choosing how to respond." "Your lawyers acted on my instructions, yes." She folded her hands. "Caleb was young, distracted. You were a phase. I did what was necessary to protect our family's interests." "Emma is your family." "Emma is a complication." She slid a folder across the desk. "This is a new offer. $5 million, full custody to Caleb with supervised visitation for you. You'll sign an NDA and disappear from their lives publicly." "No." "Think carefully, Ms. Morrison. We have resources you can't imagine. Lawyers who specialize in parental fitness evaluations. Investigators who can find every mistake you've made in 7 years." "I've made no mistakes. I'm waking her well." "Alone, in a 2-bedroom apartment, on a non-profit salary." Her voice was surgical. "While my son could provide private schools, security, opportunities beyond your wildest dreams. What judge wouldn't see the obvious choice?" My hands shook. "He didn't want her. You made sure of that." "And now he does. That's what matters." She stood. "You have 24 hours to consider. After that, we file for emergency custody." "Caleb won't let you do this." "Caleb will do what's best for his daughter, even if that means removing an unstable mother from her life." I stormed into Caleb's office without an appointment, bypassing his assistant's protests. He looked up from his desk, surprise flickering across his face. Jade, your mother just threatened to take Emma from me. He stood slowly. What? I slapped the folder on his desk. $5 million, full custody to you. I get supervised visitation and a gag order. He read it, his expression darkening with each word. I didn't authorize this. But you won't stop it, will you? Because deep down, you think she's right. That Emma deserves your world more than mine. That's not fair. None of this is fair, my voice broke. I built a life for her, a good life. She's happy, Caleb. She's loved. And your mother wants to rip that away because I'm not rich enough to deserve my own daughter. He came around the desk. I won't let that happen.
Then tell me you'll stop this. Tell me you'll call off the lawyers and let us live our lives. I can't do that. The words struck like a blow. I can't pretend she doesn't exist, he continued. I can't watch her grow up through photographs or supervised visits. She's my daughter, Jade. I've already missed 6 years. I won't miss any more. So what? You take her from me. I want us to share custody. Real custody. I want to be her father. And what about Victoria? Your wedding is in 5 weeks. How exactly does Emma fit into your perfect life? He was silent for a long moment. I don't know. Then figure it out. Because I will not let you or your mother tear her world apart because you suddenly decided to care. I left before he could respond, before the tears I'd been holding back could fall. My phone buzzed with a text from an unknown number. Saw you leave Hawthorne Holdings. We should talk. Victoria Sterling. The fiancé wanted to meet. This was about to get so much worse. Victoria Sterling was everything I'd never be. Poised, polished, born into the exact world Caleb inhabited. She sat across from me in a quiet cafe, her engagement ring catching light like a weapon. Thank you for meeting me, she said, her voice surprisingly kind. Did I have a choice? Yes, you did. She stirred her coffee. I know about Emma. Caleb told you. He didn't have to. I have eyes. That child is unmistakably his. She smiled sadly. I wondered why he suddenly seemed so distracted. Now I understand. I'm sorry. I never meant to disrupt my wedding. To reveal that the man I love has a secret child. She laughed without humor. Jade, you didn't do this. His mother did. And now we're all paying the price. I studied her. This woman who'd done nothing wrong except fall for the same man I had. What do you want? The truth. Did you love him? The question surprised me. Yes. Do you still? I thought of 7 years of trying to forget, of building a life around the absence of him, of seeing his face in our daughter every single day. It doesn't matter what I feel. He's marrying you. Is he? She set down her cup. Because the man who proposed 6 months ago isn't the man sitting across from me anymore. He's distracted, distant. He looks at me and sees an obligation. Victoria, I love him, she interrupted. But I won't marry someone whose heart belongs to his past, or to his child's mother. His heart doesn't belong to me. It never did. Are you sure about that? She pulled out her phone, showed me a photo. Caleb, leaving his office late at night, his face devastated. My assistant took this 3 days ago. After you left his building. That's not the face of a man who's moved on. I couldn't breathe. What are you saying?
I'm saying I won't fight for someone who doesn't want to be kept. She stood, gathering her purse. I'm calling off the wedding. What? No, you can't. I can. And I am. She placed a gentle hand on my shoulder. He has a daughter, Jade. A daughter who needs both her parents. I won't be the reason Emma grows up in a broken home. She'll be fine. We've managed. Have you? Her voice was soft but firm. Or have you just been surviving? The words hit too close to home. Figure out what you want, Victoria said. Because Caleb Hawthorne is about to be a free man, with nothing standing between him and the family he didn't know he had. The question is, do you want him back? Or was this always just about protecting Emma? She left me sitting there, the question echoing. That night, Emma asked the question I'd been dreading. Mummy, why does that man look at me like he's sad? We were doing her bedtime routine, her hair still damp from the bath. I pulled the covers up to her chin, buying time. What man, baby? The one from the dress place? The prince? She yawned. He looked at me like he wanted to cry. My heart shattered. Maybe he was just happy to meet you. Can he be my daddy? The question I'd feared for 6 years, asked with such simple innocence. Why would you ask that? Emily at school says I need a daddy for the father-daughter dance. I told her I don't have one, but she said everyone has one somewhere. Her eyes, Caleb's eyes, looked up at me. Is the prince my somewhere daddy? I couldn't lie. Not anymore. Yes, sweetheart, he is. Then, why doesn't he live with us? It's complicated. Do you not like him? How did you explain betrayal and love and 7 years of absence to a 6-year-old? It's not about liking him, baby. It's about what's best for you. I think having a daddy would be best. She snuggled into her pillow. Emily says daddies give the best hugs. I kissed her forehead, my tears hidden in the darkness. Go to sleep, Emma. Mummy? Yes? If the prince is my daddy, does that make you a princess? I smiled, despite everything. I guess it does. Good. Princesses get happy endings. If only life worked that way. My phone buzzed as I closed her door. A text from Caleb. Victoria called off the wedding. We need to talk about Emma and about us, please. There was no us. There couldn't be. But as I looked at my daughter's closed door, at the life I'd built alone, I wondered if Victoria was right. Had I been surviving? Or had I been hiding from the possibility that maybe, just maybe, some fairy tales deserved a second chance?
The media storm hit before dawn. Billionaire wedding called off. Secret child revealed. Hawthorne heir's love child scandal. From hotel maid to baby mama. The woman who broke Chicago's biggest engagement. My phone exploded with calls. Reporters camped outside my apartment. Emma's school called, concerned about paparazzi on campus. Mommy, why are there cameras? Emma pressed her face to the window. It's just some confusion, baby. Nothing for you to worry about. But it was everything to worry about. Our quiet life had been incinerated overnight, our privacy sacrificed to the gossip machine. Simone arrived within an hour, pushing through photographers. Pack a bag. You're staying with me until this dies down. It won't die down, not now. She grabbed my shoulders. Then we make it die down. You control the narrative. How? I'm the villain in their story. The scheming woman who trapped a billionaire with a baby. That's his mother's spin. Tell yours.
The doorbell rang. We both froze. "Ms. Morrison," a voice called through the door. "I'm Claire Rodriguez from the Chicago Tribune. I'd like to offer you a chance to tell your side of the story." Simone looked at me. "Your choice. Stay silent and let them write your narrative, or fight back." I thought of Emma, of the lies already circulating, of the life I'd protected for 7 years now exposed. I opened the door. The article ran the next day. "The truth behind the Hawthorne scandal. A mother's story." I told everything. The lawyers, the threats, the years of silence. Claire was fair, balanced, letting my words speak without embellishment. But the internet didn't care about nuance. Hashtag Team Jade and hashtag Team Caroline became trending topics. Think pieces appeared. Everyone had an opinion on my life, my choices, my daughter. Caleb called 30 times. I ignored them all. Until he showed up at Simone's door. "Please," he said when she tried to close it in his face. "5 minutes. That's all I ask." I met him on the porch, away from Emma's curious ears. "I'm sorry," he said immediately. "For all of it. The lawyers, my mother, the media circus. I should have protected you both. You didn't even know we existed. I know that now. And I know I can't undo 7 years. But I can be here now, if you'll let me. What about your mother? The custody threats. I fired our family lawyers. Told my mother if she goes near you or Emma again, I'll cut her off completely." His jaw set. "She created this mess. She doesn't get to profit from it. And the wedding? Over. Victoria was right. I couldn't marry her while thinking about you." My heart stuttered. "Caleb, I'm not
asking for us to get back together. I'm not even asking for forgiveness. I'm asking for a chance to know my daughter." He pulled out a folded paper. "This is a custody agreement my new lawyer drew up. Joint custody, 50-50. No supervised visits, no restrictions. I want to be her father, Jade. Really be it." I took the paper with shaking hands. It was fair. More than fair. He could have fought for full custody, could have used his resources to bury me. Instead, he was offering partnership. "There's something else," he said quietly. "The father-daughter dance at her school. It's next Friday. I know I haven't earned the right to ask, but you want to take her? If you'll let me. If she wants me to." I thought of Emma's question, of her face when she asked about having a daddy. Ask her yourself. Emma sat on Simone's couch, clutching her favorite stuffed bear, eyes wide as Caleb knelt in front of her. "Hi, Emma." "Hi." She smiled shyly. "You're on TV." He laughed softly. "I am. I'm sorry about that." "Mummy says you're my daddy." "I am. And I'm sorry I wasn't here before. But I'd like to be here now, if that's okay with you." "Okay." She swung her legs. "Can you come to my school dance? Emily's daddy is taking her, and she said I couldn't go because I don't have one. But I do now, right?" His voice cracked. "You do. And I would love to take you to your dance." Emma launched herself at him, tiny arms wrapping around his neck. Caleb held her like she was made of glass, his eyes squeezed shut against tears. "Does this mean I can call you Daddy?" "If you want to." "Okay, Daddy." She pulled back, studying his face. "You look like me." "You look like me, too." "That's good. Mommy says I'm pretty, so that means you're pretty too." Caleb laughed, the sound genuine and broken and healing all at once. "Thank you, sweetheart." I watched them together, my daughter and her father,
building a bridge across 7 years of absence. And despite everything, despite the pain and the betrayal and the media circus, I felt something shift. Maybe Victoria was right. Maybe it was time to stop just surviving. The father-daughter dance was chaos in the best way. I helped Emma into her princess dress, pink tulle and sparkles, her choice from Caleb's first official daddy shopping trip that had resulted in approximately 14 stuffed animals and 3 dress options. Too much. He texted me a photo from the toy store. Way too much. She'll love it. Now, watching Emma twirl in the mirror, I couldn't regret any of it.
Mummy, is my hair okay?
I fixed her bow. Perfect, baby. The doorbell rang. Emma shrieked and
ran, yanking the door open to reveal Caleb in a suit, holding a corsage that looked hilariously large next to her tiny wrist. "You look beautiful, princess."
You look handsome, Daddy.
The word still made him pause, made his eyes shine with unshed tears. He'd heard it for 3 weeks now, but it still hit him every time. He looked at me over Emma's head. "Thank you. Bring her back by 8. She has school tomorrow." "I will." He hesitated. "Jade, would you want to have coffee tomorrow? To talk about how things are going?" Things, meaning the careful dance we've been doing, coordinating schedules, navigating Emma's questions, learning to co-parent without the history between us combusting everything.
Coffee sounds good.
Emma grabbed Caleb's hand.
Come on, Daddy, we'll be late.
I watched them leave, my daughter and the man I'd loved, and felt the strangest sense of peace. Maybe we couldn't fix the past, but we were building something new. The coffee meeting turned into lunch, lunch turned into dinner, dinner turned into Caleb showing up at Emma's soccer games, at parent-teacher conferences, at bedtime story routines that gradually expanded to include him. "She asked about us," he said one night as we sat on my couch after putting Emma to bed. 2 months had passed since the wedding that never was, 2 months of careful boundary building and tentative trust. "What did you tell her?" "That we're friends, that we both love her very much." He turned to face me. "But she's 6, Jade. She's not stupid. She sees how I look at you." "Caleb, I'm not asking for anything. I need you to know. I never stopped looking for you. Never stopped wondering if I'd made the biggest mistake of my life that night in Tokyo." "You didn't make a mistake. Your mother did." "And I let her. I believed her when she said you'd left. I should have fought harder." "We both should have." The admission hung between us, heavy with possibility. "I don't want to rush this," he said. "Emma comes first. But I also can't keep pretending I don't want more. That I don't want us." "Us doesn't work in your world. You remember what happened last time." "My world almost cost me everything that matters." He reached for my hand, tentative. "I'm building a new one where my daughter doesn't have to hide, where the woman I love isn't treated like a scandal." "Love?" "I never stopped, Jade. Not once in 7 years. I should have pulled away, should have protected the life I'd rebuilt, the boundaries I'd established. Instead, I kissed him. And for the first time in 7 years, I let myself hope. The proposal came 6 months later, on Emma's 7th birthday. Caleb had insisted on throwing her a party at his penthouse, the first time I'd been inside his actual home. It was beautiful, but surprisingly warm, with Emma's artwork on the fridge and photographs of the 3 of us scattered throughout. The party was small. Just Simone, a few of Emma's school friends, and, surprisingly, Victoria Sterling, who'd become an unexpected ally in navigating the media aftermath. "She's wonderful," Victoria said, watching Emma blow out her candles. "You raised her well. Thank you for everything. Thank you for giving him back to himself." She squeezed my hand. "He's happier now than I ever saw him." As the party wound down and the last guests left, Caleb gathered us in the living room. "Emma, I have a special birthday question for you." She bounced excitedly. "A present?" "Even better." He pulled out a small velvet box, then another. "You know how much I love you, right?" "So much." "And you know how much I love your mommy?" Emma's eyes widened. "Are you going to marry her?" "That depends. Would you be okay with that?" Emma launched herself at both of us. "Yes, yes, yes! Then we can all live together and be a real family!" Caleb looked at me over her head, his eyes asking the question. I nodded, tears streaming. He opened the first box, a ring clearly meant for me. Then the second, a delicate necklace with 3 interlocking circles. "This one's for you, Emma. 3 circles for 3 people in our family." "It's perfect, Daddy!" He helped her with the necklace, then turned to me, kneeling properly this time. "Jade Morrison, I wasted 7 years being an idiot. I don't want to waste another day. Will you marry me? Will you let me build the life we should have had from the start?" Emma grabbed my hand. "Say yes, Mommy. Please say yes." I looked at them, my daughter and the man I'd never stopped loving, and saw not a fairy tale, but something real. Something built on truth and forgiveness and the daily choice to show up. "Yes." Emma shrieked. Caleb slipped the ring on my finger and pulled us both into his arms. "We're a family," Emma said, snuggled between us. "We always were," Caleb whispered. I was just too blind to see it. The wedding was nothing like the one that almost was. We got married in Evanston, in the small community center where I'd once taught Emma to ride a bike. No magazine coverage, no society pages. Just Simone as my maid of honor, Emma as the flower girl, throwing petals with unrestrained joy, and a small group of people who actually mattered. Caroline Hawthorne wasn't invited. But she sent a letter that Caleb handed me the morning of the ceremony. "I was wrong. You are exactly what my son needed. And Emma is the granddaughter I didn't know I was missing. Please give me the chance to earn their forgiveness."
Caroline.
"What do you think?"
Caleb asked. I thought about grudges and forgiveness, about the kind of legacy we wanted to build for Emma. She can come to Sunday dinners, on probation. He kissed my forehead. "Thank you. Don't thank me yet. She tries to control our lives again, and she's out. Deal." The ceremony was perfect. Emma stood between us as we exchanged vows, her face splitting into a grin when the officiant pronounced us a family. "You may kiss your bride." Caleb cupped my face. "I love you, Jade Morrison Hawthorne. I love you too. Finally." We kissed to applause and Emma's delighted cheering. As we walked back down the aisle, Emma between us holding both our hands, I thought about the email that started everything. The wedding that was meant to unite Chicago's most powerful families, but instead reunited ours. "Mummy?" Emma whispered. "Yes, baby. Did we get our happy ending?" I looked at Caleb, at the man who'd found his way back despite everything, at the daughter we'd created from love, even when love seemed impossible.
We got something better, sweetheart. We got a new beginning. And for once, the universe didn't just give us a reckoning. It gave us redemption.